Welcome to the bright side of 50. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the bright side of 50 with Carla Palmer. That's me. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I say that every week, and I mean it, because if you weren't here, what would be the reason or the point of me doing this podcast? So I'm glad that you're here. Today, I want to talk about the power that one person validating you and confirming that you are a good person, you are somebody that is good to work with. There's so much power in that, and there's so much that can come of that. I want to talk about this today because recently, over the last month, I had the pleasure of going to a private personal dinner with a really powerful woman and group of women who are all powerful in their own right, in their own, businesses and industries. I had the opportunity to attend this dinner, and I was so excited to go, but I also had a little bit of imposter syndrome, if I'm going to be honest with you, because of who was on the face sheet. So there was a face sheet that was sent prior to the dinner to let us know who was going to be in attendance so that we could do a little bit of research to see, who those people were, so that when we were connected to them at the dinner, we would have a little bit of knowledge about who they are and what they do. And so I went to this dinner, and it was such an amazing experience. It was such an incredible experience. And everybody who was there, who was invited, kind of just felt the same way about everyone else, right? Like, you're here because you belong in this room. And so there was no, sometimes you get a lot of pretentious kind of elements and attitudes when you go into rooms like that. When there are people in there who don't know who you are and you don't know who they are, like sometimes it just comes with some arrogance and some, oh, who are you and what do you do kind of thing. But there was none of that. There was absolutely not a hint of this in the room. The person that invited me was the person who was putting on this event with another woman. And at the beginning, we did like some networking, and we just got to vibe out with each other and learn a little bit more about everyone who was there, who you were connecting with. And then we had seats at the table with name cards where we were going to be seated. And so we didn't get a chance to talk further in, kind of the networking environment because we were getting ready to sit down and have dinner. But at dinner, we all sat down, and the woman who invited me and the woman that she was putting this event on with, they said that they had a special person in the room who they wanted to introduce to everyone. And that special person was me. Oh, the feeling that I got in my whole soul and spirit when this happened. I was unaware that they were going to do that sort of announcement and to present me so kindly and so powerfully to their network was just something I wasn't ready for, but I'm telling you, I was full of gratitude for this opportunity. And when that happened, people at the table that I was seated at, they wanted to know more about me and the work that I do with foster youth in LA County. They wanted to know how they could support. People told me to follow up with them and gave me their business cards or their LinkedIn information or their email addresses or phone numbers, personal phone numbers and email addresses. All because one person, well, two people actually, but the one person who stood up and made this grand and beautiful statement, she and I have been connected for many, many years, and we partnered on a lot of different things. And she respects the work that I do and knows that I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm actually about business, and I will do whatever I can to make things happen when it is an agreed upon thing that we are working towards. She knows that about me. She knows that about me for over a decade. And so she trusts me with her community. And because she did that, I now have some really incredible, powerful connections that I am going to be able to leverage in order to meet the needs of foster youth in LA County. All because somebody made this connection of me to their network, and their network is powerful. And I'm just so grateful for that. And so I say this, all of this, because I hope that you will do the same for somebody. It doesn't have to be that you're some super powerful individual with lots of money. It doesn't have to be that. But it could be that you are in a room where you could say somebody's name who isn't in that room, and that will give them an opportunity to make a connection that will help uplift their brand or their products and services. You could mention someone's name when you are making a deal with somebody and they need another element to that deal that you can't provide. You could do that. You could also just talk your friends up. Just talk your friends up. Talk up their services. Talk up their products. Talk about their character and your love for the friendship that you have with that person and how they've always shown up powerfully and, you know, with so much integrity and so much great business acumen and, you know, so much knowledge in the field that they're in. Whatever. I'm just naming these things that you can do that could really help uplift and empower someone else. I'm grateful, man. I'm so grateful for that experience. And I wanted to share that with you. And I want you to do the same for other people when you can. And I also want you to know when you're on the receiving end, the way that I was on the receiving end of this amazing opportunity, that you show up in the way that this person has said that you show up all the time. All right. Because they have now put their stamp of approval on you. They have opened the door for you. And they're saying, when you connect with Carla, she's going to do this, this, and this. And I can guarantee it because that has been the only experience, the only wonderful, beautiful, powerful experience that I've had with Carla. Everything's not going to be perfect. That's not even what they're saying. But what they're saying is, when it comes to this, she's your girl. All right. When she reaches out to you and needs help, help her, because that's my girl. Do you know what I mean? It's a dope, beautiful thing, y'all. It's a dope, beautiful, beautiful thing. Hey, sis. Hey, I just wanted to take a moment to ask you, have you subscribed to The Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer? If you have not, could you please take a moment, if you like the podcast, take a moment now to hit the subscribe button so that you become a subscriber. Turn on your notifications so that you're notified when a new episode drops. Okay. Also follow me on Instagram. I am The Bright Side of 50 over there on Instagram too. Thank you so much. Now let you get back to the episode. All right. That's it. The podcast episode isn't long today, but it is something that you could use. It's something that I feel like with some good takeaways in there. Even if I say so myself, there were some good takeaways there, right? Right? If there were some good takeaways, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to put a question down there. What did you take away from this? And I want you to answer. And if you have something else to add, I want you to add it too, so that I can share that addition with the Bright Side of 50 community on Instagram. All right. All right, you guys, that's my episode for today. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer. Please follow, please follow the podcast. If it is something that you love and you are, getting good information every week, follow, share, make comments in the comment section. All of this helps to grow the podcast. Okay. I can put a podcast out every week and you can keep listening. But if you're not sharing and you're not telling other people about this episode or this podcast that you really enjoy, I share out podcasts all the time with my girlfriends. I do. I share them out. And I'm like, girl, this episode was great. You have to check it out. And then they've responded to me like, oh, thank you so much for sharing. And then they've watched other episodes of that particular podcaster. And that's how podcasts grow. They don't just grow when you just, come and check it out. Yeah, it grows with analytics and viewership. But in order for the podcast to grow in numbers and for people who I might want to invite on the show who might be bigger as far as influence and following, they're going to ask me about my numbers. And I want to be able to tell them that I have great numbers, that I have a great reach, so that will hopefully inspire them to come on too. Some people care about that, unfortunately. And that's the only way they'll go on podcasts because, well, one, their time is valuable and they can't say yes to everybody. And so for a lot of people, especially the bigger influencers, it has to be a win-win situation. And a win for them is to come on a podcast that has their type of audience member, as far as their avatar and their direct audience, and also reach. So it makes sense. Unfortunately, that's, sometimes the first question, how many followers and viewers do you have? And I can't say that I have a lot. I can't say that I have a lot, but I'd like to say that I have a lot. Not for, vanity reasons, but for that very reason. Okay. So follow, please like, share, subscribe. I'm on Instagram as the Bright Side of 50. So follow me over there too. I am GYSB Movement and the Bright Side of 50 on YouTube. All right, guys, I will let you go. Again, thank you so much for being here. And I will talk to you on the next episode of the Bright Side of 50 with Carla Palmer.